The sad and unfortunately not so crazy part of that entire video and experience with that very creepy, scary Uber driver is that that was not even the scariest Uber experience that I've had with an older man. The scariest Uber experience I had with an older period was in Chicago when I was late for a flight to O'Hare. And this guy just like started, he like took a different routes. He was driving through residential neighborhoods, and I was very freaked out. And I started doing a Instagram live, and I was like texting a bunch of my friends. I was trying to get on FaceTime calls. And he just kept talking about like his story and his home gym. And I forget, like, you're so pretty, just like talking me up. And I just kept like, oh my God, I'm already like getting nervous talking about it. It's just what ended up happening was like he just kept trying to get me into the front seat. That's like the biggest part of this is he just kept trying to convince me to climb between the driver and passenger seat and get into the front seat. And he was like reaching down over. He's probably like in his 60s. He was like very skinny and fit for somebody who was like in his 60s, maybe 70s. And he reached over to the passenger side seat at one point and like pulled it back so that the passenger seat went all the way back, so there's like a lot more room in the passenger seat. And I just kept repeating like, no thank you, please get back on route, please get back on route. And I would have at some point asked to just get out of the car, but this person is right, is like, it's kind of scary, like you, with any dangerous, scary situation, when you have that feeling of like, get out, like very predatory feeling, when you're with a straight man, as like a femme, woman of color, queer person, all that. Yeah, it's you're trying to gauge how dangerous it is for you to protect yourself. And at that point I was like, it would be worse for me to get out of the car in the middle of this like suburban neighborhood that is way off grid. I'm not anywhere near like a bustling street. I would get out and I'd have to figure out how to, I was also late to a flight. So I was just like, please, I'm late for the flight, please. And at one point he just talking about his home gym and like why he's like so fit for his age and stuff. And he reaches out, he says, give me your hand. I'm like, no, thank you. Give me your hand. And I don't know. I was really terrified. And I thought I was just like, do what this man says. And I just like, I lifted my hand and he grabbed it and he like grabbed me forward. So I was like pulled forward and he like made me like feel up his like chest and his arms. Like he was like, feel like my arms, like feel my chest. I'm laughing because it was so uncomfortable and quite frankly, like just weird and scary, but just weird, to like prove how strong he was. Yeah, I made it to the airport. And at that point I said, please don't do that. Please take me to the airport. Please stay on track. Because at that point, he was like kept going off the highway. And we got to the airport. While we were driving to the airport, like there was a completely silent Uber. I think once he realized that I was really freaked out. And then he just started explaining how he's like, why he can't get fired from this job. Even though he just spent this whole time telling me how he had this other job that like he just did Uber for fun, like for extra cash. He just was like talking about why he needs the money and like he's an immigrant and he needs the job for like citizenship reasons. And I got out of the car, reported him, told my close friends list that I was safe. I think he might have gotten suspended, but there was a whole moment where I was like, on that plane ride, I was like, do I not report this man because he needs the job?